when the historic town of Flatbush became overcrowded with Dutch farmers in the 1670s. A consortium of settlers were granted permission to set up new plantations on land east of Flatbush in what is now the East New York section of Brooklyn. The new community, known as New Lots, established a burial ground on common land situated on the south side of today's New Lots Avenue and Barbie Street, extending north past Livonia Avenue. By the early 19th century, New Lots farmers had tired of traveling to Flatbush to attend church, and in 1823 built their own Dutch Reformed church on the south side of New Lots Avenue, opposite the cemetery where generations of Van Siglens, Rapeljes, Vanderveers, Shanks, and other early families had been laid to rest. Around the same time, they erected a school just west of the cemetery, on the common lands on the north side of New Lots Avenue, soon needing to expand their burial grounds. In the 1840s they established a new cemetery, owned and managed by the lot holders, on land adjoining the Reformed Church. Many descendants of the old families moved their dead from the original cemetery to family lots in the new cemetery. The original cemetery gradually fell into disuse and the remaining graves were largely abandoned. By the end of the 19th century, the site was commonly known to locals as the Old Slave Cemetery. When the original burial ground was established, a clearly distinguished portion of the parcel, the section at the north end, near Livonia Avenue, was set aside for New Lots' Black community. The African American community continued to use this burial ground throughout the 19th century. By the turn of the century, New Lots had evolved from a rural farming district to the 26th ward of the city of New York. With its broken-down fences, overturned headstones, and generally dilapidated appearance, the old cemetery, containing the African burial ground as well as many burials of white community members that had never been moved to the new cemetery, was considered an eyesore and nuisance to the area's residents. The new, large public school 72 now stood next to the graveyard, erected in 1888 by the Board of Education to replace the town's old school. After years of community agitation and complaints, in the early 1920s the old cemetery was taken over by the school for use as a playground. Although public officials announced their intentions to remove the remaining burials on the site, there is no evidence removals occurred at the time the playground was established. In the mid-1950s, the old burial ground site was redeveloped. PS 72 was demolished, replaced with a branch of the Brooklyn Public Library, and the school playground was converted into a public park, Shank Playground. A shirt pleating plant was built on the northernmost section of the old cemetery site, north of Livonia Avenue. In 2017, fragments of human bone, pieces of tombstones, and other evidence of the old cemetery were located during archaeological tests conducted at Shank Playground prior to planned improvements at the site, suggesting disturbed and intact burials may exist beneath the park. In 2019, the playground was renamed Sankofa Park in honor of the African burial ground that was part of the old cemetery.